And I'm back again with another Redeem Live episode. You like that Redeem shirt? Thank you. Somebody gave it to me for my birthday a couple years ago. I got so much Redeem stuff. Oh my gosh. Gifts from my girlfriend and church friends. I don't have merch yet. So we're going to go be getting in the topic today of saving yourself from marriage. Let's be honest, we all fell in that one, including me. So we're gonna wait for people to start coming in. You know how we do over here. You know how we do it with Redeem Live. You know how we do. Thank you guys for being respectful on my channel, by the way, and in the community. Oh yeah, the hell. Thank you guys for being respectful. Yeah, I get haters, whatever, but like all in all, you guys have treated me very well. And my viewers, the most mature viewers on YouTube. You guys like crush it, very mature. You know, some of you guys are older. I just want to thank all of you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the share. Thank you for helping me out in my stuff. Thank you. Maybe one day I might share what I did this morning. Be like, God was literally leading me to talk to my manager and director this morning. Yeah. God is something else. And just to make some changes that he wants made. But the problem is that ego gets in the way. Ego. When you have a large ego, God is secondary to you. That's why God, he exalts the humble. He doesn't want to be around the proud. So that's a great thing. We're still waiting for people. Just give it a moment. Before we get into the topic. So I guess I can give you a bit of what the topic is going to be about. Obviously, saving yourself from marriage. What does that mean and why? I even want to give an example of how I didn't do that and the consequences that I had to endure because I didn't. When I'm talking about this right now, at least, I'm talking about men. Very so often, and listen, what I'm about to talk about is not common and it's not popular. Usually when we talk about this subject, we're talking about women. Usually. But I'm gonna flip it because as men, believe it or not, it's not just women. We also are supposed to be saving ourselves. We're not supposed to be man whores and expect to have this beautiful virgin woman who's been, just plucked out of obscurity, who's never had her cherry broken, is a virgin for us, but yet we've slept with everybody else. I know that that's against what culture tells you. But God is also stating, no, it's the same for both. It's the same. And I know that's not popular, that's not cool, that's not what guys are supposed to be saying, but I'm not here to be popular. I'm here to share what God says, right? Because I used to sleep around a lot, I had to learn the hard way of the consequences of my decisions. The last time I had sex with a woman, I had to suffer the consequences. Thank God now. Let me tell you what did not happen. One, I didn't get kids. Thank God. I didn't get I'm not a baby daddy. I don't have a baby mama. Thank God. Two, I did not catch any STDs or STIs. Thank God. I was reckless. But one thing that did happen to me in my recklessness, I remember sleeping with a woman who I would mess with on and off for years. And I got robbed. Yes, you heard me correctly. So in our escapades in her car, my wallet fell out. My wallet fell out. I didn't know until I went back into the house, into my room. And then I'm searching around, where's my wallet? And I'm like, well, the last place I saw my wallet, I was with old girl. So I call her up and I'm like, hey, where's my wallet? You see my wallet? And she's like, I haven't seen your wallet. So I'm like, I gotta go make a police report because like my money is in there, my debit card, my social security card is in there. And I shut the card down and I go to the police, I do a police report. So I'm trying to call her up like, yo, I went to the police about this. Where's my card? And so my bank statement was telling me that somebody was spending my money. Somebody spent $60 worth of gas out of my money, out of my bank account. So somebody's now using my card. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I keep trying to pry. She says, oh, well, after I left, my cousin used my car. And then his girlfriend got in. So maybe they took it. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Mind you, my social security card is in there. My debit card, literally everything is in my wallet. And I've lost my identification because I'm messing with this girl who was a hoe. We're just gonna keep it a buck. We're real on this channel. That's what she was, okay? So, long story short, I never got my stuff back. I lost everything. And I had to go get a new social, get a new bank card, close down that card. But if I wasn't sleeping around, that would have never happened to me. And do you want to know what the truth really was? She did that. She never admitted it. She doesn't have to admit it. It's kind of obvious. When my wallet fell out, she scooped my wallet up. And it didn't matter. I've known her for years. It doesn't matter. And she used it. She used it for her own gain, for gas, and thank God I shut it off. Who knows what else she would have used it for? Weave, nails, lashes, I don't know what she would have used it for. I cut it off. And I never messed with her ever again in life. And that was a wake-up call to me. I gotta stop messing with these type of women that are hoes, that are women of the night. Because that's what I liked. She wasn't a prostitute, but it doesn't matter. She might as well have been. I mean, I knew her, and I've known her for years. There's a lot of music over there. But there's consequences to your actions. Those were the consequences to mine. Now, some of them are worse. Like, some people have worse consequences than me. Some people come up with AIDS. Thank God I don't have AIDS. Some people come up with all these kids that they can't afford. Thank God that wasn't me. Thank God he spared me. You don't know, with my ex-girlfriend, I actually thought she got pregnant one time. I was scared to death. This was in my early Christian years, because when I first became a Christian, I believed, but I still lived the way I wanted to live. You know what I'm saying? I still did my thing. So, I'm sleeping, and she was my girl, right? So I'm sleeping with my girl, no condom, raw. She's like, man, I think I could be pregnant. I'm like, oh, no. And I remember I was in college. I was so almost traumatized. I have no money. I have no family real support. I'm like, this cannot be happening. And so what I did was I went into Walmart. So she was gonna get one of those things that you buy to figure out if you're pregnant or not. I went into the Walmart bathroom with other men in the bathroom, crying, praying to God, Lord, if you spare me and she's not pregnant, I'll never have sex again. The usual stuff we do, right? I mean, I was crying. I was like, I don't want to be a dad. She didn't come up pregnant. Thank God, right? You know how we do. I'll never do it again. I did it again. I did it multiple times after that. But you know how you get when you in the moment, you get desperate. And there's people in Walmart, because I'm praying out loud in Walmart. I'm like, Lord, help me, please. And these men are looking like, what's wrong with this guy? This guy's crazy. He's one of these crazy Christians. I'm like, man, listen, I don't care what nobody thinks. I'm crying for my life right now. It's funny, but it's not funny, right? Like, that was an actual serious moment. But the power of God, one of the things this taught me was stop messing with hoes. Stop sleeping around. And stop, because what's gonna happen is Eventually, there's going to be a consequence that's going to be irreversible if I don't stop. I stopped. Now, let me tell you what happened when I stopped. There's a lot of music, so we're going to walk past music. Hold on. Let's run. All right, we made it. So, that was just a lot of music. When I stopped having sex with all these women, do you know what happened? That later, much later that same year, I would end up meeting my current girlfriend. And man, it's been wild. A woman of God. My first woman of God. Because again, even if the girls I was messing with before were Christian, they didn't live like it, and neither did I. I didn't either. I believe, but hey, I want some. But God showed me with these mistakes I was making, there's a consequence to this. And not even just the consequences I mentioned, but there's a spiritual consequence. Because now in the spirit, you're linking yourself up with this individual called soul ties. If you've ever heard of one, that is real. You're linked spiritually to that person. Because when God created sex, it was meant for marriage. We know this. We hear this all the time. So you're probably wondering, well, how am I supposed to do that? All these women out here, and you mean to tell me, as a grown man, as a heterosexual grown man, you know, I deal with lust, I'm horny, and I can't have sex? Yeah, essentially. And that's where purification comes in. The closer you get to God, I'm not telling you that your craving for sex is just gonna go away. You're a grown man. That ain't going nowhere. It's just not. Especially if you've had it, it's not going nowhere. But what we're supposed to do is, even though we have the feeling, as you start getting closer with God, He's gonna put you on missions. He's gonna have you doing things. You're so busy, you don't even have time to be going out looking for women to have sex with all day, because you're so busy. You know, and it's giving that to Him. It's praying and saying, Lord, listen, I want to have sex. I want to have as much sex as I want to. But you say in your word, I'm not supposed to. So Lord, what does that mean for me? Help me not do this. You're going to need help because it's a spiritual thing. It's not something, you can't just go cold turkey on sex as a man. You know what I'm saying? Unless you just was a dude that never got any anyway. But if you're somebody who's consistently getting that, you can't just go cold turkey. You're going to want it. Now, I'll be real on this channel. Y'all know me. I'm real. I'm dead honest with you. It's a spiritual thing. So because it's spiritual, you got to fight this in the spirit. And that's a lot of prayer as men of, Lord, give me the strength to not do this. Lord, put the right women in my life so I don't fall into this trap. And that's another thing. We got a lot of people who, they're Christian women, but then they're ready to smash. They're ready to get down. And you're kind of confused. Well, I thought we're not doing that. You know, I thought we were following the Bible, this, that, and the third. You may want to think about who are you around, what type of women are you talking to, and what type of women are trying to sleep with you. You may want to pay attention to that. Because if she claims she's Christian and you're trying to walk the right path, but yet she's tempting you to have sex over and over again, you may want to kind of peep that. You know? I know it's hard to say no. Don't get me wrong. But God can help you if you ask. And then you need to reevaluate who you're around. It's so much sweeter when you save yourself for the woman that God created for you than to just have any nook and cranny. See, value is in what's sacred. Value is in what is not what people don't have access to. If she has so much access to her, she's a value to God and she's a value of a person. But there becomes a little bit of a dimmer light when it comes to the sex part of being valued, because everyone has that access to her. That doesn't mean she can't be redeemed. That doesn't mean that. But that's trouble for you. because that opens up the door to STDs, STIs. It opens the door to a baby that you don't want, that you ain't got no money for in today's economy. We got to think about this stuff, man. And listen, it's hard to say no. You know I keep it real. It's hard to say no. You know how many times I should have said no in the past, and those consequences I talked about earlier happened because I didn't say no. I didn't say no. It's okay to say no. And if she said, you're gay, whatever. You know they're gonna come with some stupid thing. You're gay because you know, whatever, man. Follow God. The best, you're not gonna be perfect. This is not about perfection. This is about progress. One step at a time, gentlemen. One step at a time. Let's not throw our lives away. I've watched too many men throw their lives away with this stuff. My dad, my father, I try every day not to be like him. No offense to him. I don't think my father was a bad guy. I didn't know him well. He was a ladies' man. You know, I don't want to be that. I want to be set apart. I want to follow Jesus. And it's hard work. But when you obey him, he'll bring you the right woman. When you obey him, let me repeat that. When you obey him, he will bring you the right woman. Okay? Don't give up. I get it. This is not popular. This is not cool. You know, all the dudes on YouTube ain't saying this. I get it. But I got to come from a biblical perspective, and I got to be real with y'all, and I got to be honest. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the likes. If you haven't hit the sub button, hit the sub button. And thank you guys. All right? I think that's good. I think I've hit the points, my mistakes, what's happened. I'm sure you guys got a bunch of stories of all the mistakes you guys have made. Some of you guys could be baby daddies. Some of you could have contracted something, and maybe this hits home to you. Maybe you sleep around a lot and nothing bad has happened to you yet. Or maybe you're a guy that don't sleep around. But whatever, I got to keep it biblical. All right? So this was your boy Roberto, and I was back again with another Redeem Live. And until next time,